Dr. Boobs, joined today by
Mike Biggs, and this is our boy Landon Michael Camp. Guys, very exciting episode today. We have something that's kind of really unique that many people haven't seen. It is a movie that Landon kind of hit me up about. We talked about horror movies and our love for them. And he kind of hit me up with this movie, and it is supposed to be the most haunted movie, most cursed movie of all time.
One of the most cursed of all time.
So tell us something about this. What's the name of the movie? Fire away, man.
Well, the name of the movie is Antrum. Was kind of messing around on Prime the other day and stumbled across it and decided to give it a shot and did not realize at the time how weird it was going to be.
Dude, it's really weird.
It's weird.
I will interject here and give my opinion after looking on the internet and after watching the movie.
He's such a fucking vagina.
The movie is absolute fucking dog shit. I would not waste my time. The IMDb score is fucking worth what it is, 4.8. I mean, it's not worth your time to fucking spend watching this movie. And it is a complete setup. The beginning of the movie is a mockumentary. The movie was filmed in 2018. It's not a movie from the 1970s like it tries to make out to be.
He is a low budget hater.
Such a hater.
And the end of the movie is, of course, another mockumentary, explaining more into the movie, but I'll let these fucking cocksuckers continue.
Dude, I mean, for me, I like the movie. I mean, it was very unique. To me, it kind of hit home on kind of like how the Blair Witch Project, when it first came out, how they kind of laid that. And even though they say it's in the 70s, and maybe I'm wrong. Now, Peeves looked it up, and he said it's different. It looks like it was filmed in the 70s, just a 70s movie. And you can tell it's not like, there's a lot to this movie. There's a lot of flashing, a lot of like symbols, a lot of things that really are, it's not like fake symbols. This is realistic stuff that you actually see in the occult, things that are, realistic, but I don't know how haunted the movie is, but to me, it kept my interest. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of different things. We're going to cover that. So what do you think, man?
I mean, it was my third time seeing it. It was weird the first time. The second time, you start to kind of develop and understand what the hell's going on. And the third time, it's just kind of, you know what? This movie's really fucking weird, and parts of this doesn't make sense. I mean, yeah, it might be interesting for somebody to watch who is deeply rooted into the occult, maybe, who's interested in that kind of stuff, but I would still recommend it. At least give it a chance. Give it one try to watch it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. It's an acquired taste type of movie to me anyways.
Good point, man. What did you think, Mike?
Yeah, I would say the same thing. It's an acquired taste, but as having an opinion from a religious background, I would say you need to pray before you do this. Because this is a movie about Baphomet, so...
Wrong.
Yeah.
Well, dude, my thing is, though, if you're a horror movie fan, I think you need to watch it because it kind of adds something to your horror movie repertoire, your whole library of horror movies you've seen. It ain't something like you've seen before. I mean, I've watched different unique things throughout all the horror movies I've seen. Peeves definitely can say he's seen some different stuff. But it's unique, and especially if you hear of a cursed movie, you definitely want to watch it.
Okay, my point of view. It's not really about Baphomet. It's about Astaroth, who is the Grand Duke of Hell. And his symbol supposedly appears, I believe it's like 170 plus times or so in the film. But it's an art house film. If you've ever seen an art house film, you've seen better than this. I mean, just the past year, The Lighthouse came out, and it's an art house film, and it's better than this.
Lighthouse films, though?
Yeah, it's one of, I would say it's probably the best movie of, in my opinion, 2019.
Yeah, I fucking love Lighthouse.
It's
This is a fake cursed movie. They did a great job in the publicity and everything of it. They played off of what Blair Witch did back in the day, and even before Blair Witch did it, fucking Cannibal Holocaust did it, even to the point of where the director of Cannibal Holocaust got arrested for doing it and had to bring the actors out of hiding to prove that there was not murder on set for that movie, and then still got arrested for cruelty to beast, to animals. This movie is It's an art house movie.
Well, let me ask you this though, man. I mean, if you got, I mean, obviously the budget's not huge.
No,
Obviously the budget's
budget.
not
It's
huge.
low
Right?
budget.
It's very low budget. How they just pack this bitch up and a kid, and they just like, look, we're gonna go to the movies, or we're gonna go to the woods, and we're gonna just figure this thing out. We're gonna make this. But the thing is, though, is because it's so low budget. If it's considered like this cursed movie, and they're covering all these things, then why the hell, if it is filmed in 2018, why the hell would somebody not give a better storyline?
Yes.
It's basically a bunch of people wandering around the woods, if you really break it down.
You're
And we're going to get into more of this. We're going to try to get a quick rundown of what this movie was about to kind of give you guys maybe a little bit more. But why the hell would you not give a better movie story if it's modern and, I mean...
Okay, to bring up a couple modern movies that are basically the same, the Blair Witch Project, that received way more hype than this.
Yeah, but Blair Witch Project was 10 times the damn story.
Yeah, you could follow Blair Witch. This is kind of like hit and miss, and it jumps all over the place.
This crazy bitch carries her kid out here, or her brother out there, and they just dig in a hole. If you really want to break it down, let's just go ahead and give a slight rundown. All right, so first off, the first thing we get to see is a dog getting put to sleep. And this dog's named Maxine, of all people. And...
God, no.
Not Maxine Waters, by the way.
Definitely not Maxine
not
Waters.
Not Maxine Waters.
We wish.
And so the mother basically tells this kid that this dog Maxine is not going to heaven.
Why does the mother say that though?
Because she's a lunatic like the damn daughter is, who also takes him to the woods.
But no,
She just randomly disappears not long after saying that too, and we never see her again.
But no, the mom said it because we seen in a later flashback that the dog bit the boy and
Bit her son.
Yeah, and that's why.
And that's what she said. And I guess that kind of fixes all dogs not go to heaven. But
Yeah, the dog bit somebody, something else like anybody. So guess what, Paige? You bite somebody, you're not going to heaven, bro. I'm just going to let
you're
you
gonna
go.
get put down.
So the sister takes
Or if
this.
I'm into kinky shit.
Pig's a
More power
biter.
to you.
Pig's a biter. So the sister takes the brother into the woods, and they're like basically doing these different like rituals and offerings to Satan to bring this dog back and Pet Cemetery. So the thing is, why the hell did this lady not carry him to Pet Cemetery? We get back. I mean, we could have made this
Yeah, it
video
would have been a
15
lot quicker
minutes.
process.
Yeah, a lot quicker process. 15 minutes.
Would have made a lot more sense.
But once again, you're saying, okay, Blair Witch doesn't count as an art house project, which it does, but to put this movie more into terms, in the early 1990s, a movie called The Begotten came out, and it was filmed on 8mm, and it looked like it came out in like the 60s.
Yeah.
And it is easy to make movies look older than they are. And that's exactly what they did with this movie.
Yes,
It's easy
it's
to
video
make-
editing.
It's easy
It
to
did look
manipulate
retro
film.
though. It did.
They
really-
made it look retro,
I mean,
and they
exactly.
gave it the backstory. And if you start Googling into this stuff and you start looking into it, none of it exists. They gave it a backstory. And they gave it a story to make it exist, and then you watch the movie and you're goddamn bored out of your mind. You're like, I could have watched a much better fucking art house movie. I could have watched Eraserhead. I could have watched Meatball Machine. I could have watched all kinds of shit and been so much better off.
Pig, you're.
I could have watched fucking Lord of Salem, and I goddamn hate that movie.
Lord of
And
Salem was garbage.
It was
It-
trash.
That's why. That's
It was
definitely
the
Rob
worst
Zombie's
zombie
worst.
movie ever.
Worst.
still better than this goddamn movie.
Fire away on there on that.
I don't
Go ahead and
know.
fire away,
I
man. You're right.
don't.
You're a horror movie man. Fire away. Fire away. Just get relentless.
Lords of
Just
Salem.
attack this man. Attack
Lords
this
of
man.
Salem may have been the worst horror movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was horrible.
And I've seen the new was it The Ring? The remake.
That's one of them I haven't seen yet.
Don't.
When did it do it? Is it
The
horrible?
Ring remake was hands down. I would rather watch the Slender Man movie again.
The original was good, but
Oh,
not
God.
technically the original.
I would rather
Ring
watch
was actually pretty
Slender Man.
good. Then the Ring was actually good.
The remake, okay, the remake was so spotty. It made no sense.
Really?
It jumped around worse than this movie did.
Oh. Ow.
Dude, Slenderman movie is going to trash, so
I would rather watch it again.
no.
I'd rather watch
I
Paint
could never watch that movie again. So if a movie made me want to watch that again, I would call that the fucking lowest of the
But,
goddamn dirt.
I mean, too, at the end of the day, like everybody's got, I guess, their own opinion on what they consider the Exorcist back when it came out would have definitely struck fear into people.
Well, that's what I think with this right here.
Based
Kind
on
of like,
the era that it
the
was
era.
released in, yeah. I would
Because
say
you
so.
fast forward to 2020,
Yeah.
The Exorcist
I think
isn't
so.
as bad as it used to be.
Yeah, but watch a bunch
Yeah.
of movies that hold up, like shock films.
Right.
Like I mentioned earlier, Cannibal Holocaust. You watch that movie, and it was a movie shot practically on practical effects, and it still holds up. Watch a bunch of Wes Craven movies. Watch a bunch of John Carpenter movies. They're movies that hold up on practical effects. And there are two fucking directors that I'll give the utmost props to that hold up movies on practical effects.
but you know what they do on effects, but they also got a story to them. John Carpenter and Wes Craven, they had great stories. They had great characters that carried the movie all together.
Romero was the same way.
Yeah.
Romero holds up in practical effects.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is you can make a movie based on shock value, which this one didn't have. You can make a movie based on art house, which this one didn't have, or did have. And then you can make a movie based on characters. You can make a movie based on anything. And if a movie can hold up to the test of time, that's where a movie holds up.
Well, this
I
movie
agree
right
with
here, if you
And
like,
a movie like I'm sorry to keep cutting you off. A movie like The Exorcist,
It's
it
always
still
gonna hold
holds up to the test of time.
it does. Yeah.
Any of Wes Craven
Shining,
movies,
anything of that nature.
Shining, that's a fucking great point.
That's
Shining
movie of
is
all time.
it holds up and it's practical to the get go.
Yeah, but
And-
like with this movie though, it's not like those great movies. This is now let's get something
No.
straight here.
That-
This is not a movie that's going to hold up the test of time. This is not a movie that you're going to get into for true entertainment value.
I don't think this movie was
This
meant to
this
be
movie is more of like the subliminal and symbolism type.
Yeah, if you're wanting like look to watch this movie, you're kind of thinking this is kind of mixed between the damn videotape off of The Ring, and
Very similar.
Fight Club. If you got Ring and Fight Club and they had sex and it made a movie, this is
This
it.
would definitely be it.
but with a very low budget.
Yeah, very like flashy little symbols and thing, and that's something they talk about is the symbol, like the symbols in here they always pop up. It's like actually whenever they done a count on this, it's like 170 times symbols pop up in this movie. You know, for whatever it is, I mean, I think it makes it interesting because to me, when you see the symbols in Fight Club, it always adds something more to it.
Right.
You know, because like if you watch Fight Club, you see something new every single time you watch Fight Club. But this movie is not going to be The Exorcist. It's not going to like Pete said. This ain't a movie that you're going to look back on, 20 years from now and go, well, this just brings back memories. Like you're not going to see the actors in this movie and go, let me just get their autograph.
Hell,
When
no,
you're a
this
con, you're not
this-
getting autographs.
It wouldn't
This
even
one
be
could
Blair
get
Witch.
forgotten, really to be honest, really.
But to my point, you look back and you have Eraserhead, David Lynch, art house movie, stands the test of time. Probably even more kind of messed up than this movie if you look at it and you start thinking. I mean, I think he said that there's been, I think somewhere around 30,000 theses made on that movie, and he said that none have been correct on what he was thinking. Which, I mean, it's David Lynch and he could just be bullshitting. But then you have, in the late 90s, early 2000s, you have Meatball Machine, which is another art house movie, which is kind of fucked up, and it kind of stands the test of time. And then in the same type of movie, you have Tetsuo the Iron Man, which is, once again, the last two that I named off would be Japanese movies, but they stand the test of time even now, even if they were in the early 2000s. I mean, 15, 20 years later, they have stood the test of time, and Eraserhead came out in the 80s, and it has stood the test of time, and we're looking at another art house movie that will not stand the test of time.
Well, the thing is though, this art house movie though, they're like more. I mean, they're not like mainstream.
They're underground, but
Yeah, they're always underground, and people can appreciate them if they really get into the horror movie genre. Like when you really dig in. But like some average Joe on the damn streets is not going to have any idea what those movies are.
Yeah, somebody-
Like people like us would not. We know, but they're not.
right. Now, somebody who only knows Freddy, Jason, and Michael obviously aren't going to know what that is.
No.
They haven't expanded. The horror goes into so much. It goes further than slashers. It goes down in, when it gets down into this area, that's when you know you've damn near reached the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit like first off, you obviously, because this is like the movie you brought to our attention. Let's bring the spotlight on you a little bit. What brought you on to think about this movie, and what did you think about, like, hey man, this is the movie I really want to watch and bring to my attention? Because me and you've talked a lot about horror movies and what we would kind of bounce off of each other. What brought it on to you?
I guess my interest in the occult, really.
Okay.
The studying, years of studying symbolism, even down to demonology, just there's something different about knowing things that a lot of people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Something different about learning something that a lot of people are too scared to get into, because I mean we're obviously living in the Bible Belt.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff isn't a big thing down here.
Exactly.
It's frowned upon. It's what I call shit on. Like
It's also taboo.
right, it's taboo. But at the end of the day, like I'll learn about anything as long as it's out there to learn about.
Yeah.
Just to expand my knowledge of whatever it may be.
Even if it's for like an hour and a
Right.
half, man, you get a little something. That's the thing about this movie. You got to take it for the value of what it is. Like Pete says, man, if you're looking for an Academy Award, you're not going to get it. on
I'm
this
not
movie.
even going to touch it.
You're not going to get it. But you have to like take it for what it is. And first off, the story's horrible. First off, she's dragging her brother in there.
Yeah.
And there's no really real story. Like, first off, the brother said, like, hell, look, you crazy bitch, I'm leaving the woods. Like, I'm not going to keep following you, but like the story itself and something like this, when you first off hear a cursed movie, you do want to hear about it. You
Right.
want to read it, and you want to like watch this and kind of dive in, because I start thinking about The Ring and watching movies. I start thinking about Sinister. You start watching movies that are cursed. So first off, before I get into Mike and what his opinion is of this, tell us a little bit quickly to everybody here watching. Tell us what they said about this and it being cursed.
So apparently there was a theater in Budapest. I can't remember the exact number of what they said in the film, 32, 33 people, whatever, inside whenever the movie was screened, and the son of a bitch burned down.
Mm-hmm.
They thought maybe it started in the projection room, which if anybody has any basic knowledge of anything, they know that film is highly flammable.
Mm-hmm.
But then the fire marshals, or whatever you want to say, said that it started like spontaneous combusting in the middle of the theater, and then it later goes on to tell how much LSD was involved in this, and people
I
tripping.
can see how people
like,
trip out.
Very. I mean, hell yeah! If I'm sitting in a theater and I'm watching symbolism fly across the screen like crazy, and the
Oh,
movie
LSD,
flicker,
yeah.
I'm gonna burn this
Hell
motherfucker down.
Why?
Yeah.
No, I'm not sitting through that shit.
They were just almost trampled to death, but
Yeah, those people trampled to death. There's a lot of different things about this movie. I mean,
they were all made up stories. That's the whole point to it.
yeah.
It makes a mystery around an art house film that's
Kind of Blair Witch, like you said.
Well,
They make a
Yeah.
C-grade art house film, which anyone knows art house films are C-grade to begin with, and then they make a cool mystery behind it to make you enticed to watch the movie.
and that's I guess one of the catching points is, hey, look, this is a cursed film. It killed people. It's got 90% of the population sucked in right there.
Yeah.
Because they're going to want to test, like, hey, am I going to die after I get done watching this?
But they
It's
touch
kind of
on,
tired though, man. I mean, like everybody talks about it, then by God, everybody's gonna watch it. you know?
but they touch on everything from a basic like Christian belief in the afterlife to the Greek belief with the river Styx,
Yeah.
to once again the Greek belief with Cerberus, the guardian of hell.
Baphomet statue, Asian man, he's inside of the.
Well,
of the
no, I'm talking on just beliefs on it.
Mhm.
They touched on the Lost Books of Solomon with the symbol for Astereth, which is clearly from the Books of Solomon. If you know anything about that, Solomon was supposedly granted wisdom by God, and all that we got in the Christian Bible was the Christian side of everything from Solomon. We got the Psalms, we've got
Mhm.
Proverbs.
Yeah.
But then we have the Lost Books of Solomon, which touch on devil worshipping, how to summon demons, and everything. Because he wasn't just given wisdom one way; he was given wisdom both ways.
Correct.
And in the Bible, it only includes Psalms and Proverbs.
It includes the sides that they want everybody to hear.
Yeah, and the Lost Books of Solomon, that includes devil worshipping, how to summon demons, and everything. And this touches on it, which I give it props for touching that deep into a mythology and sticking to that point, which is they touch everything and widely encompassing so many things is.
It's rare.
Yeah,
it's rare to see.
I will
movie do
give
that.
it props on that. That I will give it props on to cover everything from a basic Christian religion all the way to like your bottom of the barrel. You have to know your occult bullshit to know what it's encompassing.
Yeah, or
That-
you won't understand it if you don't.
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
there's a lot to this movie. Like, like I said, if you're a horror movie fan, you need to like get into this basically because, just like touch base on everything. Like, you really want to just get into this and go, what are they going to cover? Occult, devil worshiping, everything. Like, it even gets like Buddha. Everything like gets encompassed into this.
Before anybody needs to watch this, they need to have a basic understanding of religion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
would say
so we ain't got to get Mike's opinion on this, dude.
He's been
Just
sitting there nodding his head.
I know. So Mike, what was your complete idea? What did you think about this? Like, what did you get out of this movie?
From a religious standpoint, I would say that it touches on the taboo side of Baphomet and the individual he mentioned earlier. The best part of the film, I would say, would be probably the prop for Baphomet. It's probably the best prop of the whole movie. As far as any comical value, I would say it'd probably be the guy that we referred to as the Sand Mountain Fucker. He's fucking deer in this movie, and that is just completely hilarious.
Deer didn't have
He
a
walks around
chance.
the entire movie with no pants on and his tidy whities.
What about Kim Jong Un?
Yeah, and
The
the
red
guy that
eyes
takes
Asian dude?
his pants off and does this what's it called, the samurai suicide, kind of reminded me of
Prepared for Harry Carey.
yeah, he kind of reminded me of Chuck Schumer, what he might look like in the woods with nobody watching.
Oh, Chucky. Chucky's
Oh,
walking
Chucky.
around with his tiny whities on.
For the most part, though, it was an interesting movie. I would say the best parts of it would be the symbolism and the mental part of it. But I would say that you could probably watch this movie and get a little bit out of it and understand a little bit from both sides of the religious spectrum.
Well said, man. Well said.
Quick question for Mike. Do you believe that you need to have a basis in religion to watch this movie?
No, but I do believe that it would probably spark your interest to learn.
To me though, you get a lot out of this. As far as like just little pops in and out. You don't just get one religion. You get like a lot of different things. But let's get this straight. You're not going to get less true entertainment value. Like Pete said, you're not getting the damn Academy Award. There's no major actors in this.
No.
They're not just going to light up the film with a bunch of acting. But on this channel, we're not going to be biased on anything that comes out. We're just here to observe, enjoy whatever we're watching, and we're going to give you our true opinion about this. So, like I said, Landon hooked us up with this. He let us look this up. Peebs says he's got some more things, so we're going to see what Peebs has got coming up. But dude,
Are we
Landon,
going to give it a rating?
Let's do it.
We usually give ratings down the
Oh, you're
What kind
going
of
to.
ratings are we working?
I know what you're about to fucking get.
with?
Landon, you hook us up.
we-
You want to hook us up? Let's go ahead and give it a little bit of a
We give a
rating here.
scale from 0 to 10.
0 to 10.
We do it with beers. Let's go ahead and just fire away with this one. What do you?
I feel like
On
we
a
need
scale
to.
of 0 to 10?
0 to 10.
0 being bad, 10 being good?
Yeah, but you gotta weigh everything in. Let's weigh everything in because everything's gonna be like either you gotta take it for entertainment value. You gotta take everything that we've kind of got engrossed in this as a whole.
Right.
As a whole. So what do you got?
So
man?
it's going to come down to a personal preference, obviously.
Exactly.
Man,
Man, fire away, man. If you want to fire high, fire high.
I'm not
man.
gonna
Just
fire
go with it.
high. With my interest in the occult, even so, it's some of the stuff that they touched on. I still probably wouldn't give it no higher than a 4, maybe a 4.
Wow. The guy that introduced it wasn't gonna fire it off at a 4. Okay. A 4. Why?
A 4.
Briefly. Just
briefly.
give me a taste.
Watching
You're the guy. You're the guy. that's
Okay,
fired.
watching it 3 different times, I knew more about the occult going into it than what that movie told me.
Okay.
Baphomet, like he stated earlier, was the best part of the movie. That statue was worth more than the entire budget of that entire fucking film.
Somebody what the hell?
They could have done with
It took a lot
With
of
what
time.
they had there, with the symbolism and what they were aiming for, they could have made a 10 times better movie, but they failed to do that. They fucked it up.
Somebody welded the hell out of that thing. I mean, I'm not a guy.
Welded and carved, because some of that wasn't just welded.
It took
No,
some
shit. I mean, that statue, I would love to have that in my house.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, my thing is I ain't about to have that at the house, but damn, that was detailed. That was some detailed.
Did you see the
artwork.
pecker on that thing?
Up between his nipples. Up between his nipples.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
fucking Mike here.
Yeah, it's Mike on a Friday night.
So yeah.
Okay, so Mike, fire away, man. What do you got on this?
I would say from a whole, taking consideration that it was a low budget film, the religious aspect of it, and maybe the spark of someone maybe wanting to learn about both sides of Christian religion and Satanism, or however you want to categorize that, I would say I'd probably give it about a 4.5.
Oh, you
Yeah.
going low too, man.
Yeah.
Low too. I know what P's about to do. He's about to really
We ain't
piss
gonna
on
get
this
nowhere near over 4.5, I don't think.
thing. Nah, P's about to piss all over it. I'm just telling you right now.
Come
So
on.
P's, go ahead, Dr. P. Go ahead, Dr. P. Just lay it down.
Let me give you your fucking philosophical goddamn breakdown.
The doctor's diagnosis.
Just lay it
Let
on
me give
us.
you your diagnosis of this movie. Let me diagnose it for you. I'm actually gonna go about where they did. I'm gonna go with a 4. The movie, in all low budget, they did what they did. The Baphomet statue probably was 99% of the budget.
Yep.
What got me on why I'm giving it a 4 and not like, King thought was probably going to be a 1 or a 2 or something, like a 0.5 or something, is the fact that they studied enough to expand their occult knowledge. Like I said at the beginning of it, or during a conversation of it, is they don't just touch on a Christianity, they don't just touch on a Buddhist, they don't just touch on a Muslim percentage, they don't just touch on a Judaist percentage. They hit it all, and they make sure they hit it all. And that takes time, that takes effort. And to look into the Lost Books of Solomon, that takes effort, that takes time, that takes money. Those aren't just widely available to
They're in
everyone.
research.
They did research into the movie. They did research into what they did. Then to fake the whole hoax of the movie being this cursed film is, I'll give them props on that too. To do that and to stage this cursed film and to stage it at the beginning, stage it at the end, stage it in the opening credits and everything, give you a warning. It takes time. It takes effort. I wish they would have put as much effort into the movie making as they did that, and to even the cinematography. Some points of the cinematography are on point. You can see the exact replicas of the body being paddled down the river Styx to her paddling her brother down the river Styx, and ending up at the same place. But then at other times you look at the cinematography and you're just like, that is batshit off, everything is off, and you're like, why didn't you put as much time into this scene as you did the other scenes? And that's why I end up at a 4, and that's the doctor diagnosis is a 4.
Nice. I like it, man. You gave a pretty detailed. You dove in, Peeps. I like it. I like it. This is probably I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna give props to Peeps. This is probably his best. He dove in. He dove into this seriously. For me in this movie, this is why we always have different opinions. For me, I dive into the entertainment value. I was skeptical about this because first off, I damn sure don't feel cursed. But entertainment value, first off, the acting was horrible. But it did make me feel like I was like watching a 70s movie that is cursed. It made me feel like that there's a lot of different things in this, but the story's horrible. Part of me, like when I first started thinking about this, and I get to hear everybody's like basically idea of how they felt about it. I don't let people lead me into this, but there's times you start looking at the film and you start going, well, I feel this, and then you start hearing everybody's like basically what they can tear down and what they can build up. I want to go with a 7, and with this, it's not. Let me tell you something. If you're going into this movie, you're not getting it. Yeah, but the thing is, though, is like this. It's like this,
motherfucker.
and this is my argument on this. The damn thing don't get an Academy Award.
No, definitely.
I never am going to look at this and go, hey, you know, damn, this is kind of like I'm not looking at this like I would Tombstone. This is not a Tombstone kind of movie. This is not where we're only like get something out of it. This is not something where I'm expecting immaculate acting. When he told me about this movie, when Landon said, hey man, I got this movie I want you to check out, I was thinking like The Ring. I was thinking I'll see a fucking ladder halfway up the wall and a spider climbing up the wall and then like a roach bug eating a piece of cheese. I thought I was going to see some crazy shit, and I was like, that's what I was expecting. And you know what? It really didn't disappoint in that aspect. It really wasn't going to. When I start thinking about something that's going to like basically give me a curse, that's what I expected, because basically The Ring kind of gives you that. So what I'm going to give this is I'm not going 7, I'm going 7.5. They gave it very low, but if you want to just watch this and go, you know what, I want to watch something that makes me feel uneasy, I'm going to go with 6.
I mean,
you can all bag on me. If you watch this movie, if you're like a guy that's just sitting out here and you're thinking, man, what the hell am I going to watch? And you watch this movie, I'm going to give it a 6 because you're going to look at this and go, what the hell am I watching? This is not great acting. This makes me feel weird. This is going to make my nerves get up here. This is going to make me feel, what the hell am I watching?
Right.
It's not great. It's not great.
It's just creepy.
It's creepy, and it makes you hit a certain point in that genre. It makes you fit that mold. But there's so many other films that I have seen that will take you to a 10, take you to a 9, take you to 9, 10, everything else.
This film is not it.
This film is not it.
No.
But
Not even close.
as a movie person, now we got to start wrapping this baby up. But look, dude, I appreciate you bringing this in because I think everybody here can agree with this. When everyone heard about this, when you brought it to me and I brought it to everybody else, everybody's like, dude, we got to watch it. And when you hear this kind of movie, you want to hear it, you want to watch it. And if you're a movie person, horror movie person, you want to bring this on, you want to go, let me watch it. If you watch Pink Floyd The Wall, by God, you can suffer through this.
No.
Pink Floyd The Wall is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. I actually was mad at a friend, and I said, look, dude, give you a quick story. I had a friend go, look, dude, you got to watch Pink Floyd The Wall. And I got drunk, and he was high, and he's like, dude, let's watch this. And I suffered. I didn't watch it. I fucking suffered through this movie.
That's how I felt.
And I was like, dude, I really want. And I told him, like, I looked over him after we got done watching that movie, and I said, look, dude, I'm just gonna give you. Let's be serious. I said, dude, after I didn't watch this movie, I suffered through this movie. I said, I really want to fucking punch you right now. Like, I really want to punch you after suffering through this movie. For wasting I said, I literally felt like 2 hours of my life was wasted. This movie didn't make me feel wasted. It just made me feel like that I watched the movie, it was creepy, and it like touched on some things that I never got touched before, so.
Don't watch it on LSD.
You're fainting over this pig. Jump in here, bro.
I'm a fucking average Joe goddamn blow that's sitting up in their goddamn house drinking a goddamn Bud Light, fucking reading goddamn Florida Man stories. Are you gonna enjoy this movie? Are you gonna even appreciate a fucking art house movie? I mean, yes, an art house movie with a little bit of plot. This movie doesn't have it. An art house movie
If
with...
you don't like religion and you don't like retro movies and you don't like horror flicks, this is not the movie for you.
Well, that's the difference between this and Blair Witch. Blair Witch actually had a plot. You take that plot away from Blair Witch, these two movies are the fucking same thing.
Yes.
Good damn point.
Yes.
Good damn point.
That's like, you hit the nail on the head with that one right there.
You take the plot away, and this is your movie. Guys, we're running real short on this movie, but look, hey man, if you're a horror movie fan, just check it out. It's a cult movie. Check it out, man. Watch it. I promise you're going to burn your house down or do something crazy.
Unless
but
you're on LSD.
Yeah, unless you're on LSD and you're going
Goddamn. As
It won't be the movie doing it, it'll be you.
You need to make sure to have the fire department on speed dial.
Get your diagnosis, doctor. Let's do it.
As the doctor has diagnosed this movie, I will give it a thumbs down, but as a collective, I believe we give it a thumbs down. But
Yeah.
if if you're into the occult, if you're into religion, if you're into all that kind of stuff, give it a check out. If you're into horror, you may give it a check out. If you're into more of the art house films, give it a check. You may enjoy it. But with that, we are the Brew Geeks, and that's all I've got to say.
Guys, thank you so much for checking us out. I really do appreciate you guys sitting down with us and giving us your opinion. Man, please hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications. We do appreciate you checking us out, and thank you next time. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yes, sir.
We're out.
See you, man.